Now for a brief Torah. The Torah admonishes us that you cannot punish a child for the sins of his father, or the father for the sins of his mother. Today in the Western world, we take this for granted. However, in the ancient world, this was not so. Even in the Roman world, whole families were punished for the sins of individuals. This does not mean that we ignore the society around the person that made this possible. Interesting to note that on the rare occasions that the Sanhedrin, the Jewish courts, had to give the death penalty, uh, they would give it, and after the culprit was executed, they would actually don sackcloth and go around the country saying, this situation was so bad that we actually had to administer the ultimate punishment. Because we recognize people will commit sins. Now they're guilty of what they did, but there had to be some impetus on their part as to why they they thought that they either could get away with it or that it was normal. So we do have to admonish society. We do have to admonish families that obviously the attitude within the family was such that this person thought he could get away with it. So, and that there are consequences to your actions. That somebody commits a sin might start a whole situation which will affect society, affect the family, affect society. But we do not punish the family for the sin that this person committed. We try to educate them and we try to make them better. But the important thing is that just because one family member committed murder, we do not execute the entire family for committing murder or for idolatry. It's a recognition that people should take responsibility for their own actions. We have within us the ability to make, to change our lives, as it were. But we have agency. This is the difference between a free person and a slave. A slave has no agency, just as an animal has no agency. Slave has no free will. He does what his master orders him to do. Otherwise, he will be punished. An animal has no free will. It does what it does what its instinct tells us to do. We can modify those instincts to a certain degree, but you're not going to get a lion to be a vegetarian. That's not going to happen. You have to housebreak a dog so that the dog will fear the punishment. Now, why you're doing this, he cannot understand. But he knows that's not what a master likes. And the dog's instinct is to do what the master wants him to do. So, but when we're dealing with humans, humans have agency and free will. We can change our lives if we so desire. That's what the Torah is coming to say. You're entering a land. You will be setting up your kingdom. Remember, there's free will. People will do what they feel they can do. And if somebody commits a grievous sin, then we punish that person. We might admonish the family, but we don't punish the family. And we look at how bad the situation is, and that's and we will say, okay, this happened because X, Y, and Z. But we do not punish the child for the sins of the father or the father for the sins of the child. Something to think about.